I think a lot of people assume that if they do enough inner work, they will eventually reach this place where they suddenly are Zen, where they're suddenly enlightened, they have the answers in life, they know themselves, and they will from that point forward be clear and confident and fulfilled and all of the things. And this is the goal that a lot of people are striving for, but much to the chagrin of many of the people I talk to, I actually don't think it's the goal. And when I say that, it can feel a little disheartening because we can be like, wait, no, I'm doing this work because I want clarity. I want answers and I want fulfillment. But the truth is, if that's what we get out of this work, we're just staying within the same ecosystem. We're repeating the same cycle, but in a different outfit. Arrival chasing keeps you chasing certainty, but design thinking actually builds self-trust. What this work gives you is something better, in my opinion. It's a way to step outside of the system as a whole. And so I want to talk about it. I want to talk about what this work is actually for and what our goal even is. Let's get into it. So if you're new here, I'm Chris. I'm a career and mindset coach. For the last 9 years, I worked with driven, capable people who look successful on the outside and yet feel pressured, stuck, and disconnected on the inside. And today I want to talk about this assumption of what comes after letting go of this achievement chasing, letting go of this burnout. Because I think a lot of people assume that once you set boundaries and once you stop over-identifying with work, you will arrive at this place. You are done, you graduate from self-development work, and you never have a negative thought again. What actually happens is that once this pressure cooker that you've been living in starts to depressurize, once that pressure quiets down, something weird happens. Yes, you start to feel less urgency. Yes, you start to feel fewer emotional spikes, fewer emotional swings. You feel less scrambly, but you also have this experience of having space. Can feel deeply uncomfortable when you've had that trained out of you for years. You could feel a little bit untethered. And that's where this could get sneaky. We run the risk of perfectionism rebounding. Not necessarily burnout to the same degree as before or people pleasing to the same degree before. But if you are not careful, you can start to do a different version of that. Again, still kind of upgrading things where you're like, okay, what's the next answer? What's the next upgrade or the next 5-year plan? What's the next reinvention? And those are, again, all different flavors of the same exact thing. Maybe it's a healthier reinvention, but if it's still within the same ecosystem, we're going to just keep repeating that cycle. Arrival chasing at its core will always bring us back to that same place. And design thinking is what I want to argue is the alternative, because it is about choosing differently over time and building self-trust. Not design as in vision board, as in I have designed my life by consciously choosing everything I am doing moving forward. The goal is not necessarily to finally have answers. It's to change your relationship to needing answers. That is the shift, because now you trust yourself so much and your ability to know yourself that, yeah, you might not have every step mapped out, but you know that inner voice will be able to guide you when you get to those forks in the road. My goal for every overachiever who comes to work with me is to have a healthier relationship to their career. So not reacting to pressure, not following shoulds. My only goal for you is to make conscious, intentional choices because you choose to, because you want to. A place of true ownership. It's not Zen as in I have the answers. It's Zen as in I'm no longer needing the answers in the same way. It's not so that we can graduate or be done. It's so that we can hear should sooner and say no faster and feel more confident in our ability to listen to ourselves and trust ourselves. The real thing we need is tolerance for space and ambiguity and being imperfect and in process. And the only way you get that is from true integration and living the work. So for any of you who feel like this is maybe a little disheartening, I get it. But know that once you get to that space, you won't necessarily miss the answers like you thought you would. It's just hard to imagine because you're not there. So if you want support moving from awareness to ownership, that's the work we do in coaching. I'll drop the document below that overviews exactly what that looks like. And as always, if you want a better understanding of the Achievers Reset framework as a whole, I will also drop the workshop for you. So let me know if you have any questions on this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.